So before I start, I usually come up with the main idea or the central question, and this is it's what does it mean to be smart? And then here's my outline. But first, wait, can I share like the characters? So the characters are Eve, and she's very creative, but she doesn't get very good grades, and she spends her free time building and creating new projects. And she's afraid to show her work to anyone for fear that she won't have anything else left in her life um, that would help her succeed. And then Rhea is like really smart, but she doesn't study for quizzes because she doesn't have to, and she doesn't really have any real hobbies. She's very quiet, and even though she's smart, she usually asks like really stupid questions that she already knows the answers to. And then the first chapter is Eve, and basically the teacher passes back the math test. She doesn't get a good grade. She just crumbles it in her bag. And the inciting incident for Eve is when they come home from school and she receives a letter in the mail inviting her to a gifted academy. And she thinks it's a mistake, but it's not. When they email the people at the school, it's not a mistake. And she does an art project to clear her mind. And then Rhea and then it's the same thing. Pass back of the math quiz. She gets an A. And then there's a contrast. So Eve crumbles her math test in her bag, and Eve, and then Rhea neatly places it in her binder. And then the inciting incident is the same. Rhea gets invited to the school too, and she is delighted and spends the rest of her afternoon watching Totoro on repeat. That's all I have because I didn't get really far because I was like writing the characters a little bit. So yeah.
That's great. Yeah, it seems like you really did a lot of work with character creation, and I think it's pretty fantastic. So there are you have like kind of two plot lines. It seems like each is revolved around one character. I wasn't totally sure from your description what these two characters think about each other, um, or how well they know each other. Maybe you haven't worked that out yet. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be some kind of convergence of
Yeah,
their two.
because they both get invited to the academy,
Got it.
and they're desk partners at school. And
Okay.
I haven't really figured that out because I literally like only had like the central question before
Great.
today.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's great. The central question I think is really interesting. It's kind of a philosophical question, um, and that's there's a really famous novelist, a European novelist named Milan Kundera, who the way he outlines his novels is he always begins with a question. This is also true for the American novelist Toni Morrison. She always has a philosophical question that she wants to answer. It's very different, though, to answer a philosophical question in the form of a novel than it is to answer the question in the form of a philosophical treatise or a book of philosophy or a philosophical essay or paper. Um, because usually when you're answering a question with fiction, you don't really answer the question. You just inhabit the question, or explore it without giving it a definite answer. So I think that's pretty cool to start with a question. You're
I
doing
always
something.
start with that because it helps me with the entire plot.
Yeah, I think it's really important. And like I said, a lot of really great novelists also do that. The moment the inciting incident for both characters, the fact that the inciting incident is the same is pretty cool. But like the lead up to that moment, to receiving the letter of acceptance, is obviously diametrically opposite. I also love the characterization, the way that Eve crumples up her quiz, excuse me, and Rhea neatly places it into her backpack. So you're already establishing a kind of contrasting image between the two characters that gives us some insight into their personality without having to explain it to us as readers in the form of exposition or description or something like that. You put it rather in a scene, which is very effective. I think that's pretty great. Well, that was very well done. Seems like it's going to be a really cool story.